Progress Racing, show us your tips. Makybe Diva Stakes Day, Flemington and Rosehill at Kembla preview show. As we look forward to Saturday, the 10th of September, it will be. Beaver and Daggy with you as always. Beaver, what's happening, buddy?
Mates, living large, just trying to enjoy life, mate, and ready to put the punters on some winners for the weekend.
Very good. How did we fare midweek? We did all right, actually. Pretty good day out.
I think we did well. We started off on fire. I think we had the first 5 winners.
Yeah.
3 in Melbourne, 2 in Sydney.
Yeah.
So we got off to a fly start and died off a little bit after that, but we're around the mark.
Yeah, played in front and usual couple in Queensland just to put a bit of cream on top for everyone.
That's it.
So another good day out, but we head to Flemington to start off. Group 1 racing there. Good track, rail true. I don't think there's going to be any demons about. So it is what it is, standard Flemington, which is good. We kick off with the staying race, the 2,500 metre open handicap, where Pondus is back again. Are you starting the day with a favourite, or are you looking elsewhere?
Yeah, I'm going to start the day with Pondus. Look, it's brought back here. Its only runs in Australia have been pretty good, and recent form at the Curragh suggests that it can run well first up. Tooradin was tough at Moonee Valley. I'm just not quite sure 2,500 is up its alley. Maybe it's further improved here. I'm not so sure that it can match Pondus, and yeah, it's probably, it's now been up for a fair few starts this prep. So I'm going Pondus. Can't find too much else in the field outside of the top 2.
I was actually looking to Coolth. I mentioned the other week getting away from Moonee Valley, I think will help. So back to Flemington now on the quick backup out to 24. Brett Preble on. Pondus has had a lot of short prices and hasn't won for a while. So that was the only knock I had there. I'd like to see it actually get in front, but it'll probably roll forward and be close to lead here and be very hard to beat, obviously. And I thought your man, Paulie Pruska, had a great chance around the $9 mark in Killarney, who was very good chasing Shabao last start, 5 weeks between runs, but he's been spacing it all the way through. So I imagine that's part of the setup. So I think can run well as there. So, but just I was sort of taking on Pondus in the first just because it hasn't won for a while, essentially. Race number 2 is the listed plate, Exford Plate for the 3-year-olds over the 1,400 metres. We saw Artorius return against a lot of these last start. Took a while to get wound up. I think 1,400 metres will suit now. Once he did wind up, he hit the line quite well. Flemington, I think, will suit. Nice long straight for him to get going. Probably his best win was at Sandown, I guess, where he had the nice big straight. And I think, well, obviously his favourite, but I think he's definitely the one to beat here. Are you taking him on, or are you sticking solid?
Yeah, definitely sticking solid with the Taurus. I was thought his first up run was outstanding. Waiting to see where it showed up next, and here it is, and best bet of the day.
Not much more to be said, I suppose. The 1,100 metre, we get up the straight for the boys' Poseidon Stakes for the 3-year-olds, where Ingratiating was fantastic at Caulfield. And I guess these are the 2 I won't think too much more. Strong through the line off that win. Both Artorius and Ingratiating, the 2 easy ones to lick up here, and hopefully we'll see 2 good horses in action. Are you going away from him, or are you happy to stick?
No, 100% sticking as well. I think you're spot on. I think Artorius is the best bet of the day, closely followed by Ingratiating, and there you got it.
Great. Nice and simple today so far. We get into a bit of tricky stuff now, though, with the 1,100 metre girls version. The 3-year-old fillies here up the straight. How are you lining these ones up?
Yeah, it's a fairly interesting affair here, but I've stuck with the favourite again, resuming. Crystal Bound was very close second to Jamia last time in. That's a good run. Jamia's franked that form. Prior to that, won a really nice race at Moonee Valley over the 1,000, won by 6 lengths. It looks to have loads and loads of talent. And I'm not so sure about some of these other horses that are in the field. I mean, they've got a bit of form, but once you get first the top couple, I think it's falls away a bit.
I was really impressed by. I set out thinking I'll just find Crystal Bound, but I was actually really impressed by Cerades, the Kavanagh horse.
Yeah.
I think it's flown both starts. Time's been all right, but it absolutely brained him in the listed race in Adelaide. Gate 1 is the only concern. I think it'll run well here. From Crystal Bound, you said went to the A grade stuff in Sydney, ran well there, and is the obvious. I know it's pretty much market order, but I was 4 from 5. And you summed up Crystal Bound pretty well. Race number 5 is the Sofitel over the 1,400 metres for the 4-year-olds. Another listed one. Another shorty here in Ayrton. Are you piling in again?
Yeah, look, no, I think there's a lot to like about the win last start. It sat in the running line and let down nicely. I think it'll be further improved by that. So, look, it looks to be continuing on its winning way here. I think there's improvement. I didn't mind the run of Regards Marie last start. Thought it was impressive enough in a similar race as this. Gets probably slightly better draw here with Oliver aboard, so couldn't rule that out. And King Magnus was strong again. Can't see why those three probably may not run the top 3 again. If you're looking for a bit of value.
Yeah, well, I was all ready to talk about butter chicken, but it's just been scratched. So wherever it pops up over the next week or so, it's a horse to follow for now, I think. But I think I think Ayrton, obviously at the price, is the one to beat. And I think King Magnus is flying and he'll probably run the Quinella again. Interesting one that's come back and trialled her at Harbour Views. At one stage was a spruik horse and went missing, but the trials have been pretty good this time in. So maybe one for an early quaddie around 20 to 1. A bit of a watch
quite an
there.
interesting race to resume it.
So I guess, the watch on the race, but I haven't said much there in market order. Yeah, maybe King Magnus, if you're looking for value in the race to run a place. The Let's Elope is the fillies and just the mares, actually, Group 2 over the 1,400 metres. What are you doing in this gala event?
Well, I just noticed your dinner is appeared in this race.
Oh, he has too. He has got the run. There you go.
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
So your butter chicken is here around the $16 mark. So that's one for you, young lad. Look, Tourith has been super strong in the last 3 runs. It's been on the pace, or if not setting the pace. Can't see any reason that it won't be on pace again. Instant Celebrity is a quality horse. We know that. It was outstanding last start. Probably at one stage looked like it was going to win. Gate 13, so Craig Williams is going to need to find a spot for it and get a little bit of luck and get some luck in running there. I think if Instant Celebrity does get a couple of favours there, it's probably the horse to beat.
Yeah, I think I've got Instant Celebrity on top, but you're right. From that gate and just with its normal pattern, he's going to take it back to last. So I assume you'll be trying to get sort of 3 wide last running line and hoping it reel him in. I think it can. I think the reason you're actually getting a $4-ish price is because it will be last. And if it does produce its best, I think it still wheel him in. I mentioned butter chicken. Here it is. This might be the race I was actually thinking about. It's been a long day, but at $16, I'll back it here as well. Just on the suspicion it might be a decent horse, and you've covered the obvious one in Turath, who you were keen on last time, and will be in the same spot again, and probably gets a really good run here. To be honest, there's not a whole bunch of speed. So
no, that was the thing. I also outside of Instant Celebrity, I do think Mystique Journey is a watch as well.
well, if it turns up at its best, I know it's been. If this turns up at its best, $13 is a fantastic bet.
That's exactly right. So, look, I can't remember the last time you would have seen $13 Mystique Journey.
Yeah.
I think it's finished a couple of lengths off Star of the Seas at Flemington last start before his spell, and then prior to that was $1.20. down at Hobart when it got knocked over. But look, we know it's got a ton of ability. It's just whether it can reproduce that.
Yeah. Well, I suspect Money might tell a story there on the day. Obviously, mounting yard watches, but Money will give an indication of where Mystic Journeys come closer to race time. The Bobby Lewis, another Group 2 for the 4-year-olds and up the straight for the 1,200 meters is race number 7. Where I sort of went with the obvious one with the Newmarket winner here, Zatori on top. It was pretty impressive. It's got some great runs up the straight against some top quality horses. Went to Sydney and was pretty good behind Nature Strip in the TJ for it. And this is a big drop in class. And I don't think this is a tough race. So I was quite happy to be with it. And at the price especially. And then you get the obvious in the honest astrologist. And I guess she's pretty honest away game, drawing the right part of the track. They'll both run well. But yeah, I would default to Zatori. And it's not a horse I think I've ever tipped on this show. But yeah, I was thinking that way. What were you thinking?
Yeah, look, I narrowed it down to 2, and Zatori was one. Loves the straight, flies fresh, and has won some very good races over this distance at this track. I also think away game is super hard to beat in this. First 3 runs this prep have been great. Flew at Eagle Farm, and then was fantastic against Pintoff. Chased really hard, never shirked its task. This looks to be right up its alley. I mean, it carried 58, I think, in that race. Gets in here at 53, so really think it's well weighted at the 53 mark. Zatori's got to give it 6.5.
Mm-hmm.
Just not sure if it's good enough to give it that much weight and beat it. So narrowed it down to those 2 with away game on top.
Cool. And just a quick thought on one of your specialties up north, well, Jonker. How do you think it fits in here?
Yeah, look, it's I found it hard just to kind of line it up in this race here.
I feel like it's too short. It's a sort of horse you'd think around 10 or 12 bucks, you'd go, oh, you might have something on, but can't imagine it being favourite in this race.
I can't imagine being favourite in this race either. I mean, it's won 4 from 25. So it's not an outstanding strike rate for a horse to finish, to be starting favourite in a quality field like this. I just was surprised it was favourite.
Yeah.
Its maiden form's been Gold Coast and Eagle Farm. Coming back here into Melbourne, around 6 lengths behind Eduardo. So I think some of these horses could get well within 6 lengths of Eduardo on their days. So yeah, I want to see it first.
No, fair enough. The Group 1 to feature Makybe Diva Stakes over the mile. A cracking little race, actually. We see the Melbourne Cup favourite Incentivise, potentially rightfully so. I don't think any internationals are turning up this year, so maybe it should be. We've got some Sydney form here. We've got all sorts of form lines. What are you doing?
Yeah, mate, I've come up with Tefane.
Yep.
So I thought I just think it's flying at the moment. Won the straight broke beautifully, gave nothing else a chance, and I thought it resumed very well behind Behemoth and Bo Rossa. Both those horses are flying, and I don't think Tefane had a lot of luck in that race. So if you go back and watch that race, Tefane was probably in the 1 out 1 back spot, and Behemoth went round it and got the jump on it, and that just held Tefane up. Yep. And then by the time it got clear, Behemoth was off and gone. And I think if you have a look on the line, Tefane was coming back at Behemoth on the line. So I think this distance will suit the 1600s. So getting out there, I don't think that'll happen again with regards to Williams letting one of those horses go around him and lock him in and have to chase again. I'm just not so sure about Incentivise yet. $3.60, like it's got, the picket fence form lines, but it's carrying 59 now up against top quality horses coming from Queensland where it's beat. I know it's one easy, but it's beat a pack of nobodies.
Yeah, it's beaten nothing.
Yeah, we're talking about, so it won by 12 lengths, but beat Mirage Dancer. And then prior to that was Ipswich, where it did win by 9 against Accessory. Like, seriously? And 9 lengths against Happy Go Plucky.
Yeah.
And prior to that was at Toowoomba. So we've got a horse that's, 4 starts back was at Toowoomba. Yeah, it's come to Eagle Farm and Ipswich and won a couple of races and won it easy, but it wasn't against Zaki.
That's right. I'm sticking with Colette again. I thought it was a pretty good run first up. I think out to the mile, second up, last prep at the mile, it ran Very Elegant to a nose and around a $19. I'm happy to take that. I'm also happy to take, speaking of running Very Elegant to a nose, I'm a bit of a believer in Moanga now. I thought that was a pretty good return.
Excellent.
I'm looking for the recipe of the wide gates in these big group ones. They tend to work. So yeah, gates 11 and 12 there, they'll get the swooping runs down the outside and hopefully clear air and be finishing off. And one in that same bracket is the second up Japanese horse, Ki Nautique. Was fantastic in that race as well. I think it's all 3 wins have been over the mile over there. And you'll probably get, it's about $14-15 now. So they're the 3, all at a good price, I think. Again, I think incentivized using, I think that starts longer. That's a ridiculous price. And
well, that's what the point here, right, mate? Mm-hmm. So you think Moanga has knocked over Very Elegant last start.
Yep.
So if Very Elegant was in this race, would it start favourite?
Yes. No, well, it hasn't actually. It's got a lot of Very Elegant. For some reason, every time it goes down there, it goes around about $7 or $8. Did it start favourite Caulfield Cup? It didn't. I think it was favourite in the Caulfield Cup. But when Zara won on it first up, it was a silly price because we tipped it, but it was.
Yes, that's right.
$7 or $8. But I think if it was in this race on this day, it would start favourite. Put it that way.
Yeah. So that's my point.
So
it surprises me that Moanga's and I can see why incentivise is. They put money on it, even for Melbourne Cup, Caulfield Cup. I think it's unders at the moment for those. But if it comes out here and brains them, then you probably find that it shortens in the market. We'll see.
Yeah, I know we sort of touched on it, but we haven't gone down the path of futures. But look, it's not going to start. Yeah, I think it does. It might, if it runs a nice 4th, it probably drifts the Melbourne Cup. I don't think you learn anything from this race. So,
yeah, I mean, it didn't start in the Stradbroke, but Stradbroke 1400.
Yeah.
So you got the 1400 Stradbroke winner here, stepping out to 1600, which it'll handle on its ear. I don't think Incentivise would have started favourite in the Stradbroke if at the same time it was beating Hacks over 10 lengths.
Yeah, I agree. And to flip that around, if Tefane took on Mirage Dancer, it probably puts 10 lengths on it as well. If you
100%
comparing apples to apples. So
that's my view anyway.
No, that's cool. So I think we are in agreement. There's a bit of value there, and when you've got, at least at this stage of Incentivise, taking up a third of the market, it's a good opportunity to bet.
I think so.
Just looking through else. Sir Dragonet, none of those really interest you anymore.
Nah, I'd have to see them do something.
Yeah, cool. Let's wrap up the day with the 1700 meter handicap as well. Where, what do we do here? I hope I'm in front, so I'll hopefully be cracking the first beer and getting ready for the footy by this time. But the 2 at a price, I thought Passan is an easy bet at 20s. It's 20-1 at the moment. It's as good. It's well and truly up to running well here. And I was happy to take on Ziegfeld. I've had enough of it. And, I'll probably have $5 each way on Good Idea at 200s on Betfair. So that'll be this race for me. What about you?
Yeah, it's good. I'm keen to see some of these horses that are looking for, sort of that Caulfield Cup distance, see how they resume. Plenty of them down in the market, and I wouldn't be thinking too many could win. King of Legrants, Basan, Furion. Keen to see how they go. I've come up with Young Werther, just going for the youngster on the way up. A bit worried about the draw of 16, but it'll get back nice
Those
and
colours
fresh.
are nearly Masara territory for you these days.
Yes, they are. But no, I thought he was good last prep, and I think it'll be further improve this preparation. Nearly knocked Explosive Jack off at Randwick, and then prior to that,
you get to see the form on Explosive Jack in the race before too.
That's right. So, look, I think Young Werther's probably one of the up and comers in this race. I'm keen to hopefully see him fresh enough to run a big race, and maybe a horse to follow in the spring. So I'm sort of a bit of anticipation there. And I thought Floating Artist, third up, showed improvement last start, and the further they go, the better it'll get. So keen to see how Cool runs in the first, and if it runs well, then Floating Artist could be one to have something on later.
Fantastic. Do you want the Sydney or Melbourne quaddie this week?
You can do Melbourne, mate.
All right, let's do Melbourne. It kicks off in race 6, where I'll go number 1, Instant Celebrity, 2, Mystic Journey, 5, Still a Star, 14, Turath, 17, Butter Chicken, 1, Zatori, 5, The Astrologist, 9, Away Game, 11, Express Pass on the quick backup. Then we'll go 3, KR Nautique in the Group 1. Do we put the favourite in or out?
Your call.
Stuff.
Leave it out.
Leave it out. Mwanga, number 10, 11, Colette, 12, Tefane, Explosive Jack, yay or nay?
No.
And let's come home with 2, Pasan. Some big prices here in a winnable race for some of these. 6, Young Werther, 10, Secret Blaze, 12, Good Idea, 14, Skyman, 17, Floating Artist. It's a flexi quaddie day, but we get a couple of splits there. It might pay very handsomely. So
I think we'll do all right, mate.
Yeah, I think we're got to run for our money there. And for progroupracing.com.au, of course, check them out for their free tips and extensive guides all spring. Your best and value at Flemington.
Yeah, my best is race 2, number 1, Artorius. Will be winning. And then my value bet, I'm going to go in the last. Race 9, number 6, Young Werther.
I'm going to make Ingratiating my best just to be different. And I'll make my value in the last as well. I'll make it Pasan. It could run well at 20s in a race it would have jogged in this time last year. So let's head up to Kembla, where the rail is in the 5 metre mark from 1100 to the winning post. 2 for the remainder. Good track. A bit of mizzle around on the day, but I don't think it's going to have any effect on how the track plays. It's been a little bit on paces at Kembla, actually, the last couple of weekends, but I've treated it as being able to run on down the outside by the end of the day here. Are you playing in the highway?
No play.
Are you playing in the benchmark 78 over the 2,400 metres, which would be the second race on the card?
Yeah, I'll play here, mate. I think the top weight here, Makybe, look, I think it's a good thing. I thought it was
hard to miss.
It was second up last start. It was hard to miss its run. Geez, it hit the line really hard at the end there. Took a while, got out of its ground. But the last 100 or so, it was steaming home. It'll be suited by the 2,400. This is a weaker fare. Getting the queue.
Yeah, not much more to add. Hasn't had the run at 24, but it has won at the distance and performed quite well there overseas. I think the step up in distance will suit this horse. A good gate now will be closer in the run, as New South Wales maps have it, Raz, in the 1-1, which if it sits there, how's it going to lose, basically? So, yeah, everything you've said's right. Happy to back it. And get the ball rolling for the afternoon. We head back to the 2,000 meters for race number 3, benchmark 78, which is a tough race. A few of my old favorites here, but I'm going to stick with Crystal Pegasus off the big win here a month ago, or 2 weeks, 3 weeks. What are we back? We're in September now. A month ago, trial since to keep it ticking over, and I think it repeats a dose here. That was a nice enough win, but it is a all Waller affair. Our intrigue will run well, and my old mate Badouche will probably take some of my money again. But what are you doing?
Badouche and Bazooka. Look, I'm
They're both
going
here.
Yee. Yeah. I'm going to stick with Yee. I thought, again, it was pretty good last start. Nothing to suggest you'd want to hop off. Cordia just put in its one good run that it has and just finished over the top, had to sit on the back. Yee had dragged it into the race. Drawn 10, so should get a good run with some cover. And hopefully the 2,000 suits Yee. Looks to be tough enough, looks to be dogged enough and hardest to beat. If you're going to save, I would look at Pesto. I think it probably the rise of the 2,000 is what it's looking for. Just seemed to plug last start. But that was in a good race with Always Sure and Love Planet. They're no slouches. So I think it can continue to improve. They're the two I'd be looking at.
You'd love, from the gate, you'd love Nash going on for JMac just to go straight to the front on Yee in this race. There's not a lot of pace here, and it could run well if it did that. They haven't mapped it that way, but we'll keep an eye out. I couldn't imagine it being that far back where they've got it on the official maps. But we'll wait and see. Race number 4 is a benchmark 72 because it's the 1,200 meter midway on the card, where I was. What was I doing in this race? I like the price in Oxford Tycoon. That's what I was doing because I couldn't possibly back Makybe off the Hawk, getting beat at Hawkesbury in a very ordinary race. And even luck, Oxford Tycoon beats Royal Zell last start. So comes back 2 weeks later, gets a setup here, and it should be hard to beat.
Yeah, I've gone the same way. Couldn't get a run at all last start, not till the last bit, and jumped out the ground and probably should have won that race, to be honest. And third up here, gets a 2 kilo claim for Tom Sherry in at the 60.5. Probably weighted up to near about the as much as it'd want to be. And gate 11, going to need probably suits to be there, but as long as it gets some cover, hardest to beat, Oxford Tycoon.
Very good. The race, the 5th on the card, is the Dulcify Stakes, a listed race over the 1,500 meters. I've sort of been against a lot of this form on the way through here. So I was looking fresh, which left me with Gay's 2 horses, Silent Impact, off a couple of nice trials and a very nice win in town before it went out, gets the control here. And I've just got to I'm just starting to think that Tiger Malay stuff's not necessarily A grade. So happy to be with it. And I'll probably save on the stablemate, AC Express, who has had to put a couple together now. And I think they've got, being a Savabeel, they've got the opinion this is going towards some better, it's going to be better as it gets out to a mile and further. So that's the way I'll play the race. I'm not going to think too much more about it. You seem to be nodding a little bit in agreement there.
Yeah, I am actually. I think your assessment of the Tiger of Malay form could be a bit dubious. I'm not so confident around it, but could be proven wrong. I thought Silent Impact's just first 2 runs have been outstanding. It was good first up and then franked that last start. Was super impressive. Gets the draw here in the 1 gate, so most likely leader, if not right behind it. And with even luck, will give a good sight for your money, that's for sure. Don't mind the $4.50 at the moment.
Yep, great. Race 6 is the Coolmore Shirako Stakes over the 1,200 meters for the girls. Group 2. Well, I struggled with this one. Look, I've got Antrivieri on top. I thought the trial was good. Now we've seen it trial. Obviously, it had the run where it just couldn't reach for Seeker against a bias and everything else. before it went out back in autumn. J Mac on here, I think it's obviously very hard to beat, and maybe a little short, but very hard to beat. And was I mentioning it odds? The horse I was most worried about actually was Fatus maybe being back to its best. It was very good last time after being missing for a while there. A little bit of a feel it might be just an 1100 meter horse Fatus, so I'm not really going to charge in, but we'll see how the track plays. But yeah, I think Entrivieri might be a decent horse. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think it might be a decent horse. I was waiting for when it would show up, and I'll be on here. But this has got some depth, this race. It's no pushover. You're right. Fatus was good, resuming. Tallier also ran a very nice race. They're both drawn off the track. So I'm just trying to get a feel for where they might sit. And I'm just trying to think, if they push forward, they're going to need a bit of luck. If they go back, they're probably going to be sitting behind the favourite.
The official maps have Entrivieri mapped 1-1, Fatus 4 back running line. Yeah,
and I just don't know that they're going to be able to give this thing as big a start.
Yeah,
I don't know whether Entrivieri will sit one out, one back, but maybe it will. There's a few horses here that probably go forward a little bit. Written Beauty will go forward, I'm guessing.
Yeah, missed the start last time. I think he'll be further forward from gate 2. Mabusha is a scary horse here, I thought as well.
Yeah, that's what I was thinking. Forbidden Love from the 11's probably going to go forward. So, yeah, maybe it will sit one out, one back. There is a few horses that do like to get back.
Yeah, Volpine, Vangelic leading from Written Beauty, Entrivieri, and Tallier is what they've said.
So, a bit interesting where they get him run, but that's the way I'm going, number 4.
Excellent. Yeah, well, essentially I agree, but there's a couple of horses that, if they turn up at their best, are scary here. So, we head to Quaddyland, though, for the Theo Marks, the Group 2 over the 1,300 metres. Talk about a wide race. I think track pattern becomes important by this time of day. We'll know how it's playing, because I think that probably dictates a little bit how we bet here. If it is paying 100%. Up inside, I think Big Parade returned. Generally, actually takes a run to get going, and it returned sensational order first up, and maybe gets an easier lead here. If the rail's a place to be, I'll be backing that. If it's not, I'll probably be backing Private Eye. It's we'll wait and see. Have I read that right?
I think that's a pretty good assessment. I think they're the only 2 chances in this race, and yeah, if it's playing rails and on pace, Big Parade's going to be hard to go past. But if they're coming down the middle of the track and they're running on, Private Eye is just devastating. It's got an outstanding turn of foot. Couldn't believe the price last start, getting $10. I think I did tip it, and
you did,
yeah, I think the 10 gate suits probably comes in 1 with Imaging coming out. So yeah, Jay Ford gets it in the running line, top of the straight, 200 lets loose, and we'll see how it goes.
Yeah, cool. It's an interesting race because, like I said, if the track's playing fair, I could almost still take Big Parade, but if it's swoopers, then easy bet to have Private Eye. The Run to the Rose, race number 8, is the 1,200 meters for the 3-year-olds, and well, what a cracker this is. Where I'm going to go with Animo. Went out fantastic style, trialled in fantastic style behind G-Tra, and turns up here ready to rock and roll, I think, to beat Remark, who had no luck in the lead up. And I think that'll do me for now. Interested to see where Converge probably might need the run, but heading towards the longer stuff, Converge a horse to watch, but not necessarily back tomorrow, I think. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I think the same. NMO for me. Yeah, just looks like it's got all before it. This horse, it was outstanding last preparation. Seems to come back in good order given the trial. Remark was outstanding first up, had no luck and still finished 3rd. I think it should have won the race. Gate 13's a bit of a concern. They're the two that I've narrowed it down to. Stay Inside's got to show something now. I wasn't impressed with its run first up, so yeah, got to see it do something.
Yeah, I'm not interested in it at all. If it wins, I'll say well done, Team Friedman. But I'm happy to put a pen for it altogether, and happy for it to chew up a bit of the market for us. The second last is the 1200 meter benchmark 88. Hopefully, we're ahead by here because again, it's a tough finish. What are you doing with this race?
Yeah, it is a tough finish. Few chances in this race. Could pick any of sort of 7 or 8 horses here. I narrowed it down to Ventura Ocean on top. Liked the way it resumed. It wasn't far off them. Ran on strongly, doing its best work late. Behind Frosty Rocks, who kind of was able to control the race there, finished within a length of it. Gets a little bit further ground here, does it? I think, or is it the same? 1200. This last start. Actually back in distance.
Yeah, month off.
So don't know if that's totally in its favour, but second up shouldn't hurt it too much. I like it. I'm willing to forgive Never Talks first up run. Just got back to the tail. Never a chance from there. So it could also be running on if they can come from the back, but Ventura Ocean for me.
Yeah, I struggled to stamp this race. I ended up having Zakat on top. I think it's just honest. It's had a little bit, been unlucky both starts, but always puts in, and it's the only reason I couldn't really, at the price was the only reason, or the only sort of bet I could talk myself into, but no real confidence here beyond that. You've mentioned Ventura Oceans a couple of times, so I'm interested to see that, and I like Nash going on it. I think Nash shoots there. And was, just a little bit against the favourite again. Well, definitely against the favourite because I didn't tip it. Let's finish the day with the 1500 meter benchmark 78, where I'm going to hopefully finish the day with Brooks Spire, who returned in great style. She's very impressive at Kenzo, and I think a lot of these are just have already reached their mark now, and she might have a bit more upside if she headed to better stuff. So, gate 15, Bowman, Waller, maybe the biggest concern. We'll see how the track's playing, whether I really charge in. But yeah, I just went with the upside here. What have you done?
Yeah, I've gone the other Waller horse. I've gone for Love Planet.
Okay, yeah.
I just think it might get the more favour in the run.
Yep.
Gate 3, I think the race might set up really nicely for it to get the right track or run into the race. Brooksphere was very impressive first start, but gate 15, it's probably going to push forward, so it might get used up. Just depends if anything tries to hold it off the fence. If they do, I think Love Planet might just sit behind and be too strong at the end. But look, can't rule Brooksphere out, but I'm going for Love Planet. Keen to see how Love Tap goes.
Yeah, we want to see something from Love Tap now, I guess. It was pretty ordinary first up. All right, you can do the quaddie. Have the Kembla quaddie honours here.
Here we go, eh? In the first leg, I'm just going to narrow it down to 6 and 10. Going to play a little bit skinny there.
Yep.
And see if we can use some more up in some of the other races. In the second race, second leg, I'm going to go numbers 2, 4, and 8.
Mm-hmm.
Can't see anything winning outside of those.
I thought Glen Eagles was good
leg.
Glen Eagles was good first up, but I don't know if it fits in here necessarily.
Yeah, the next race, I'm going to go the numbers 4, 5, 6, 7, and 11.
Mm-hmm.
And just to finish off, in a wide open affair, I'm going to go number 1, 4, 7, 9, 12.
Oh, promotions down the bottom there. Excellent. Your best and value for progretracing.com.au.
Yeah, my best comes up in race 6, number 4, Entrap Vier. Going to stick with it. And then my value bet comes up in race 9, number 6, Ventura Ocean.
I'm going to make my best in the feature, Animo, in the Run to the Rose for the blue colours there. And my value Yeah, I think it'll run very well. Value Oxford Tycoon should win the midway, and I love the $6.50. What are you doing up north?
Yeah, mate, got a few for us up north, as I always do. Race 2, number 4.
Yep.
Rappaport, about the $4.50 mark. So nice one there with a little bit of odds.
Race 3,
in
number
race 3, number 1, London Banker.
Yep.
Outstanding last start. Going to stick with my horse in race 4, number 2, Star Tontes. Think it'll be winning again. Loved the way it ran last start. And then my next bet comes up later in the day. Race 8, number 1, Soxagon.
Excellent. Ballistic Boy was a nice return up there as well.
It was.
I think it'll run very well. Looks like it's meeting exactly the same field. So another one. There's one for me up north as well. Good job, Beaver. Good luck on
No worries, mate.
good luck, punters. Makybe Diva Stakes, a Group 1. Stay safe, everyone. Do the right thing. Get jabs so we can all go back to the pub. Take it easy, guys, and we'll see you.
And have a bet.
I'll find a way to do that anyway, don't worry. But yes, it'd be nice to see your face again in person there, Beaver. On that weird note, goodbye, punters. We'll see you Tuesday night.
Cheers, mate.